Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. Yes, good afternoon. Today is what's that Tuesday? Oh, someone I forget now. Let me see. It's June 26, 2023, and the time. Let me click on this. Okay. It is Monday. My apology. Yes, it is good old Monday. Hello, Monday. Yes, the time is now 6:03 p.m. Okay, I just had to check the clock there. Yes, I'm doing okay this morning, or this evening, afternoon. Wow, boy, it's very hot here in New York City. Inside my apartment, it's in the 70s here, and outside is also, let's see, it's 76 degrees, it says, and it was raining heavily today. Yes, it cleared up a little bit, and then now, it's starting to get a little bit more cloudy. But a good rain, you need them at times. It cools down the surface of the planet. And the news that I want to talk about, I think it needs a little bit more cooling down. I mean, it's just a couple of days into summer, and things are getting heated, very, very heated. And I'm very sad about this. I'm very sad. Um, yeah, I was just um, browsing the internet, and I came across some videos, and it's like really shocking. Um, yeah, I want to talk about three different stories, and I have to be careful how I word things. Um, with three different incidences, and how perception of an incident, perception based on the people involved, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, so to speak. And all of them involved women and one male. Yeah, two males. Um, no, three. Yeah, let me see. The third story, all female, and the other two, yes, they males, and both of them. And boy, people, we need to take a chill pill. We're getting out of hand. America is getting out of hand. And I'll say this up front. I think all these things that are happening is by social engineering to pit groups against the other, and to put and um, have different migrations, different things interact, and they know what's going to happen. We came out of a real trying, the past 3 years from 2020 to 2022, especially. We're sensitive, we feel vulnerable. And I think the system is relying on that fear, and it takes time to, calm down, to get a sense of security. Um, but the system is really pushing it. And so I want to share with you some videos. And the first story is, well, actually, the first story that I came upon this morning. And uh, it's about an incident that happened in good old Chicago, Illinois, in the United States, in the Midwest, up north. And it's really sad about how, perception again. And when I first heard the story, I think I heard it as how the media wanted me to hear it. And then I said, well, wait a minute. Let me listen to this again. And I feel kind of like manipulated. So, and yes, an incident happened. uh, someone got the use a bang bang on another person. A mother is at a hot dog stand at night. She got hit by a car with her 14-year-old son, and the mother came out alone, and the mother had to text the son some emergency was happening in there. But I want to share with you the video on the incident. Okay, I'm going to share you my screen. I'll take a moment here. Okay, let me share that. Oops. Okay, wait a minute. I might have pressed the wrong one. Let me see. Okay, I pressed on the wrong one. Okay, my apologies there. This is the first story, and this is a brief account of what happened, and then I'm going to share with you the more detailed story. Okay, let me blow it up. I mean, enlarge the screen. Okay, let me play this. Say it's entitled "Woman Ordered Teenage Son to Bang Bang Man Now." Okay, at hot dog stand, etc. Okay, yeah, I don't want to say certain words because it might trigger certain things, and I don't want that to occur. Okay, so let me play the short video.
Information on a deadly shooting at a West Side hot dog stand. A mother and her 14-year-old son are in custody. Prosecutors say Carlisha Hood ordered her son to shoot a man at the Maxwell Street Express on Halsted Sunday night. Mother was inside ordering food when she got into a fight. And court records say she texted her son to come inside and shoot.
Watch breaking news on YouTube.
Okay, so that's the first. Okay, and all the rest is just a commercial after that. So you saw that. It's very brief. And what did it look like? And this is ABC Channel 7, Chicago. Okay. Now let me show you the second video on the same story. And this was actually the first one that I saw. Okay. I watched this YouTuber. He is also from Chicago. So he would get this news. Okay, let me play it and listen very carefully.
Dog stand Sunday, where the alleged instructor, she allegedly instructed her son to shoot and kill a man. Carlisha Hood, who was a valid FOID and CCL holder, is facing a felony count of murder and another count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. A 14-year-old son is facing felony and count of murder. That's how that story goes, y'all. Let's check out a few clips.
Listen very closely.
Bond set at $3 million for the 35-year-old Wes Coleman mother, who, according to prosecutors, got into a fierce verbal argument with a Southside restaurant patron. This was Sunday night while they were waiting in line for food. The situation quickly escalating into a deadly encounter.
During that altercation, the defendant began texting her son.
Cook County prosecutors describing how Carlisha Hood summoned her 14-year-old son, who was out in the parking lot late Sunday night at this Maxwell Street Express restaurant at 116th and South Halsted, and then things started heating up.
The argument between the victim and the defendant turned physical when the victim punched the defendant in the head approximately 3 times.
The store surveillance video capturing the moment the 14-year-old sees his mother getting punched, investigators say, and And that's when the teen allegedly pulls a gun from his pocket.
The co-defendant fired a shot at the victim inside of Maxwell.
Okay, let me turn it back again. Okay, this is very important. Okay, if you didn't hear it right. It's very important. I'm going to play that little clip back.
Got into a fierce verbal argument with a Southside restaurant patron. This was Sunday night while they were waiting in line for food. The situation quickly escalating into a deadly encounter.
During that altercation, the defendant began texting her son.
Cook County prosecutors describing how Carlisha Hood summoned her 14-year-old son, who was out in the parking lot late Sunday night at this Maxwell Street Express restaurant at 116th and South Halstead, and then things started heating up.
The argument between the victim and the defendant turned physical when the victim punched the defendant in the head approximately 3 times.
The store surveillance video capturing the moment the 14-year-old sees his mother getting punched, investigators say, and that's when the teen allegedly pulls a gun from his pocket.
The co-defendant fired a shot at the victim inside.
Okay. So what was different there? Let me put it back. So, what did you notice there? The distinction. The first video, the news just says about a woman summoning her son to, text them to do X, Y, and Z. And then the second one, more detail. And you notice they use the word defended and that the other term. So they already are indicating who committed the crime and who's the victim of the crime. Okay, I thought that was a very essential. So they're passing judgment already. But if you listen closely, if you didn't catch it, because I didn't get it the first time, the person who got the demise had punched a woman in the head 3 times. And it was only then that the son did what he did. Now, people, if you saw your mom getting beat up by a man late at night, what would you do? What would you do? Well, the mother senses something. Now she was dressed neatly. She's getting food. Why? Why would a man want to hit a woman in the head 3 times? So I thought that was really something. It like initially, I took it biasly against the woman, like, oh, that woman, oh, I mean, it was negative. My thoughts were negative. And then the video repeated itself. I said, wait a minute. I said, the woman got hit in the head, punched in the head 3 times, and she is being viewed as the assailant and the son, and that they were being sought after by the authorities as a criminal. I said, wait a minute. Remember some years ago in Florida? Now, Florida has a stand your ground policy. If your life is being in jeopardy, you have a right to protect yourself. And remember with that young boy, the 17-year-old, and the adult, yeah, it was a child, 17-year-old child, a minor, and a 27-year-old adult male who was warned by the authorities to stay in his vehicle and let the police do their job. But the amateur security wannabe disobeys and encounters the person that he felt was questionable, and it resulted in the minor's death. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that word. Um, that incident that happened in 2012 in Florida, and it really troubled me, and it changed a lot about me and how I viewed life, and I felt vulnerable. So, um, a woman does not have a right to call on her family member because she didn't have anything to protect herself. And how come you don't hear anything from uh, the clerk in the store or the manager of the store? What happened? What were they arguing about? See that? That's also another red flag. How come they don't interview or they didn't show on camera the management, the person, the clerk who was there, the teller? They didn't have anybody like that. What could they possibly talk about at 11 something? Was it close to 11 o'clock at night? And you're waiting for your food. What possible what could have possibly start an argument? You see that she's on the line. You don't see anybody else. So it's not like it's a long line and someone jumping the line, whatever. What happened? Why weren't they interviewed? But instead, they show the news the first time, as I showed you, that the woman must have done something, that she might have provoked whatever. But again, there's no interview with anybody. And it made it seem like a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing, that a renegade parent and as a renegade son just banging the place. What happened? Why did they not give a more detailed account? I'm sure the person that is serving the food must know something what happened, because they say it was a very intense verbal altercation. So what was that verbal altercation about? Did they know each other? Isn't that also important to find out? Did they know each other? What happened? What would cause a man, an adult man, to punch an unarmed woman in the head? Isn't that considered violence and an assault? That is an assault. Punch a cop in the head, punch anybody in the head, and that is considered an assault. They showed a video of the woman leaving, and it was security cameras. How come, if the security camera is there, why didn't they show it? I mean, what is the camera not showing? But at least outside they show them leaving. That must have been frightening. Someone violating you punch in your head, your son defends you, and you leave. I guess you'd be so angry and scared. You don't want to wait for the authorities to come because you know what they're going to do. I'm not pro-violence, not in any way. Again, I was not there. And unfortunately, the account doesn't give a detail on what the argument was about. But you do see, what is said, that upon the boy seeing the mother get punched 3 times in the head, it was only then. So he came to check up on his mother. And when he saw what he saw, did he take action? If the incident happened in Florida, where the state where Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman was the shooter. Oops, not supposed to say that word. If we're there, what would the outcome be? Would the outcome have been like what happened to getting George off the hook based on stand your ground? Does standing your ground cover for all Floridians or only certain Floridians? Yeah, Floridians are the names. It's what people from Florida are called. What would have been the case? It's just a question that I have, but I felt like, wow, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Again, I'm not at the hot dog place. I don't know what preceded the bang bang, but it made it seem like a streety lady, right? A lady from the street type of thing. And how dare she call her son? And then he protected the mother. Now, the son is a minor, a 14-year-old minor. What are they doing with a bang bang? Now, they use the terminology in the beginning of the video, and I'm not sure. I don't know what those terms mean. They were abbreviations, and I just assumed maybe it was the type of permit she had. That's what I assumed because it was mentioned in the beginning of the video, and so I just assumed maybe it's something to give her permission to carry, to have one of those things. But again, the boy is a minor. But what do you do? What do you do? You're being attacked. And why are they being called a murderer? Why that it's such a strong term? Someone's beating up your mother. She's unarmed. And she's summoned for help. What would you do? What would you do? It really scares me, this story. How things could be twisted. Again, I don't know the whole story. This happened just yesterday, on Sunday. And why it scares me is that, see, I'm a woman of color. Yeah, that little face that you see, that's little old me. Born and raised here in New York City. And so both of my parents also born and raised here. And an incident happened to me on the train. And I was on my way on the train to visit family. And these two females, young females in the 20s, teens or 20s, they were looking for a seat, looking for something, and the train is pretty empty. There's a lot of seats available that both of them could have sat right next to each other, but they were looking for a victim. And unfortunately, that victim was me. These were two black women, darker skinned black women. And most of the people on the train were Asian and Hispanic. And of course, for me, was the only obvious looking black American man. He sat directly in front of me. And he witnessed everything. And the bullying, it was they were trying to bully me and intimidate me. And I realized after the fact what her plan was to upseat me so they could sit in front of the door. Now, these are young women. This happened about 4 years ago. It was before COVID. About 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, about 4 or 5 years ago. I was very, very upset. And I did a video about it. And then I was told when I uploaded the video, I didn't upload a video showing what they did to me. But after the incident, when I got off the train, I was very shaken up and I was starting to cry of anger because I was angry. Sometimes when I get so angry, I start to cry to get the tension out, That's how I deal with certain things. I start to cry because of the anger that I have. And rather than people coming to my concern, sorry, it's my little dog in the background. I was told that I was what they call cooning. Yeah, it's a term. They misuse the word cooning. But either way, that's what I was called. Because what I said in the video, now I know why some white people don't like black people. Your actions speak louder than words. When you do something against people and when you do things publicly, and it was to be seen publicly what they did to me. Yeah, they didn't dare do the other people in the train, but me, a fellow so-called black female, and they wanted me to give my seat up, and they also dropped a pizza on my lap. Yeah, I was furious. I had shifted. I thought the lady came over and said what she said because I thought maybe she dropped something under my chair that I didn't see. No, she was trying to order me out of my seat. Out of my seat. So I just scooted over. I was in those twin seats. And then she sat in my seat. And I had to bite my tongue. Don't say anything. Yeah, I was reading at the time. And a friend I was with her was the one eating the pizza and drops a piece of the pizza on my lap. She starts laughing. She thinks that's funny. So things like this happen. So what I was afraid of was that, okay, 2 against 1. I'm in my 50s, and these girls are in their 20s, or even late teen, early 20s. I'm not going to be fighting one of them was kind of beefy, and the other one, the eating pizza, was a skinny girl. No way would I do any fighting because I know I will lose. The odds are against me. A 50-something-year-old woman and 20-something-year-old females with an attitude. And what I feared the most when that incident happened, I knew I had to stay calm because I knew that they wanted to instigate an altercation, and they're relying on me to get ugly back to then them finding a false cause to attack me. And I knew in my heart that if a physical altercation occur, that all of us would be arrested. And I didn't want that to happen. That was my real fear. That if I protect myself, that I, Spirit Journey, would be arrested for defending myself against two animals. No, not no animals, demons, predators. Let me say predator, predators. Yes, you have predators out there. Good afternoon, viewers. Please say hello in the chat room. Yeah, they were two predators. And the anger that I felt, that if I hit them or say something, it made us all look bad. See, people of other communities see our behavior. They see our behavior, people, and they think, boy, those are violent ass people. Those people don't even like that. They act like they're demon possessed. And a lot of us act demon possessed. But I had to stay on top of it and bite the bullet, bite my lips, so to speak, and hold my composure. Because I knew if I do anything, say anything, I ignored them. I had moved over, the pizza fell on me, they were laughing. I didn't say one damn thing. And the black man in front, he was an elderly black man, and he's shaking his head like in disbelief of these demon people. So that is my reality, people. Being who I am in America, in New York City, I have to be specific, in New York City. And this was about 5 years ago. That what I feared, and again, almost 2 years ago, an incident happened involving a white woman and me, and it was an assault upon me. Never saw the woman, blindsided me, and could have caused serious damage to me. And the police were very protective over the criminal. And again, I think it was a bias attack. And the two other people that were victimized by her, the other one was an elderly black man. The third victim, I don't know what he was. It was a man, an elderly man. And when I tried to tell the cop, there were a total of 4 cops that came to the scene to subdue her. It took 4 cops to subdue her. They felt sorry for her. They didn't feel sorry for me. And I mentioned this story many times, but that's what I'm getting at, that sometimes the rules don't apply in certain situations. And I knew if I pushed the issue with the cops, and again, I summoned the cop. The first cop that came, I talked to the cop, pointed her out, and the witnesses pointed her out. And he apprehended her, got her, and then summoned other cops to come to his aid. But the cop in charge of the scene, the one that came to the scene first, was not the head cop. And I never spoke to him after that initial talk. There was also a Hispanic lady on the scene, and she was just as bad as the Caucasian males. And I really felt, here I'm a so-called older woman. I was approaching 59 years of age. And this other woman could have been in her 20s or 30s, young person, big boned. And they wanted to protect her. and just said, "Oh, that we don't consider what she did to you an assault. It's just she was just harassing you." I said, "I'm in pain. I'm in pain." Yeah, it's so. So when I give the account of the woman who is getting her food at a hot dog stand, and she texts her son that there's trouble, and this is in Chicago, dangerous Chicago. Yeah, I've been to Chicago. There's a metropolitan area is really nice, really clean and nice, and then there are other parts of more challenging elements. And and I gathered that maybe this part, the guy, the person that got the bang bang, is from the south side of Chicago. That's a poor area. So this man was punching a woman in the head, and she summoned her son in a text. Luckily, she had a text, her phone with her, because she might have been a goner. But it's a black woman, and the person that had his demise is also a black person. So you have what's common in Chicago, unfortunate, black on black crime. And when we defend ourselves, we are perceived as being a criminal. There's no sympathy, and you just poo-pooed on. And what if I would have had something, or a device in my hand when I was being bullied by these two losers that came on the train so a couple of years back, about 5 years ago, or that woman, that white woman that attacked me? What if I had something in my hand and hit her back with it and then left the scene? Yeah, I mean, how I feel, hey, someone attacked, I'm getting out of there, defend myself and keep on going. That's what I would probably feel like, you know, someone trying to hurt you, or put you in a body bag. uh, get out of there, defend yourself and get out, because see, it's just going to just dig up more mess to have to defend, to go to court, and I mean, be honest on what you do, but you start to wonder, is it worth calling the authorities, because they may charge you for defending yourself. And if you are from a particular demographic, it doesn't matter. And you're automatically perceived as a bad person. You can have a college degree, you can have your doctorate, and you're in an altercation, and how the media spins it. And again, as I showed you in the first video of this short, brief account, how did they make the lady sound? Like a criminal. And it totally disregarded the fact that she's being beaten and punched in the head by a man late at night while she was waiting for her food. There was another patron that assaulted her. So she was an assault victim, and justice was served when her son came and defended her. But now they're being treated like Bonnie and Clyde, like they're criminals. And no self-defense. It's self-defense. She could have been the one in the body bag. But authorities, please tell us what to do. If you are a black person a mulatto, a biracial lady or man, what do you do when someone is trying to thug you, bully you, and it's 11 o'clock at night? What do you do? Please tell us so that we don't be perceived as being a criminal. This is very serious. And this is what I was feeling some years back on the train when two demon women came to harass me, and I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt that that maybe they dropped something under my chair. I mean, they just walked on, and they stayed by the entrance doorway, and then they approached me, and I wondered what the hell she want. So I just moved out the way, thinking maybe she dropped something and she has to look under. I don't know. That was the rationality, but it wasn't. And she took my seat, and she wanted me. She thought I was going to move so both of them could sit in my seat. You know, the sit to get paired. Even though there were other seats, it was a pretty empty train. You have people, bullies out there. And you have bullies in the Black community, Black American community, and they are harming one another. And we have to stop the violence. Please stop the violence. It doesn't matter. I bet if it was an 80-year-old woman, they'd probably arrest her, defending herself. It's spooky when you are the potential victim, even though you're perpetrator, when you're the victim. See that how things could twist, and how the media reveals it. A woman is being punched in the head. The son was summoned by the mother by a text. The son is waiting in the car for the mother to come back. The mother texts the son that there's trouble, so the son came. And only because you see him in the video staring, it was at the entrance door. And when the punches started, yes, I don't, it's alarming. So that was my first story that I thought was really something. But it's something how the feel of the news, the sentiment of the story being told, and how is to make you feel about the people you're watching. And they can make you feel biased against that person. But I said, wait a minute, she's getting punched in the head? Hello? So that was the first thing, There's another story, so when I saw that story, I wanted to see if there were any other stories, or other videos on the account, And then I found, by chance, another incident involving a Black woman. And this I thought was the video was done very well. So I'm going to show you 2 to 3 more videos that relatively short. It's about this happened in Dallas, Texas. And it was a couple, a man and woman, adults. And what happened to them, and why were they forced to leave? So I want to show you. And again, about perception. Perception is the main thing in this live stream, about perception. The first story, perception of a woman, a mother, who's getting her some food late at night, and an altercation, and the son defends the mother. And then the police were out to get them because they had left the scene of the incident, and how they made her look. And why didn't the establishment say what the argument was about, or why was the man punching the lady in the head? There was no news about that. But if any of you see any news footage on why the man was punching a woman in the head, or what was the the verbal altercation about, please share that information with us. Okay, so I'm going to next share the next story about the black couple in Dallas, Texas, and why they were asked to leave. And I will show you different videos on that account. Let me see if I get it here. Okay, I have to share the screen here. Just take a moment. Okay, allow. Okay. So let me see here. Okay, that's not it. Okay. Let me turn it, make it bigger. Okay, I hope I did this right. Oh, yes. Okay. So this video here, um, this one is a longer one. Okay, this one is by a YouTuber. Um, he's a very black-centric man, and I don't always agree everything about how he airs things, but this was an interesting story, and uh, I think it's pretty much on the money with this account. Okay, it's entitled "Babouche Restaurant Puts Out Black Woman for Wearing Shorts While Them Folks Sat with Shorts On." Okay, so let's play it. Oh, that's the address. Let me see. Wait a minute. Oh, let me back up some. Okay. Yeah, I just stopped at that point. But that's the name of the restaurant. Babouche Mediterranean Mezza and Bar. Okay, babouche, that's a name for a type of shoe. It's those flat shoes, like those genie shoes. It's flat, and the back you can press down on the heel portion, and just like a flip flop. Yeah, they're supposed to be really comfortable. So that's what a babouche is. Okay, and I looked up this restaurant, and it's a Lebanese Moroccan restaurant. So North African and uh, West Asian. Okay, so let me put it to the beginning. Let me see. Let me find the beginning. Okay, let me see here. Oh, sorry. Let me back up a little bit. Okay. Okay, let me play it.
What's the dress code? You can see it right there.
Wait a minute.
Dress code?
Wait a minute. Let me.
In that restaurant, what's the dress code? You can see it right there, sir. It's written. Does it even say it? Sure, it is right there, the dress code, okay? I said my friend tell me you can't wear shorts, but there's people in here with shorts on. Right here. We can't wear shorts, but we got people in here with shorts on in 90 degree weather. What's the weather right now?
See that?
What's kind of what the weather is? 'Cause we
She's-
got people in here with shorts on. It's 91.
She said she was there before.
We can't have shorts on. There was no issue before Dominique walked in with these shorts on. It was all good just a week ago. Come on, bro. I'm waiting till this woman comes out.
30 minutes already.
Go, we gonna find some read. Don't worry about it. But they could get viral though. Hey, y'all can go viral, bro. Get excited. Yeah, I'll be doing this. Yeah, the big thing. Because I have an ass. Hold on, Dominique. Hold on. We gonna wait till Fran come out. Because Fran got shorts on.
Yeah, she has nice legs too.
Oh, God forbid. Oh, Fran got shorts on. No issues, no problems. So what's your name? Excuse me, so what's your name? That's your name? Is that how you treat all your customers? Do you not give them your name? Are you the manager here? I'm just asking, are you the manager here? All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so we know what's going on, I don't want to alarm anyone. We're being asked to leave because my friend has shorts on. I have shorts on. They have shorts on, but there's no issue here. You guys are going viral. This place will be. So I sincerely apologize about that because this is happening. Okay. So, sir, can I get your name before we leave? Is that a no? We're being asked to leave because we have shorts on. Yeah, everyone's thighs are out today, but apparently this is a problem for them. This is just too much. It's over the top. So that's the issue we're having. Yeah, so apologize for interrupting you guys' brunch. It just had to be said. I'm so sorry. It just had to be said. Shall we take our business somewhere else? Thank you guys. Sorry about that, guys. Enjoy your afternoon. Sir, I can get your name for real? No, bro, you're so professional. Lock the door because they're storming the Capitol. No, bro, I gotta go back in there because I got my bag. Yeah.
So he must have heard him say he left his bag, because look what happens next.
It don't matter. That's what I'm saying.
Got his bag.
Look, literally nothing happened before you got here. No, bro, for real. Yes, bro, nothing happened before you got here, bro. You can't be out here like this. You did too much. That's what I'm saying. Oh my Lord Jesus. This is off McKinney. What is this off for? Yeah, no, I got you.
I was reading it.
What the dress code say?
It said something
Bro,
about.
go up on these people. Go up on these people one time. Polished, casual.
Okay, let me read that now. Okay, Babush dress code. Comfortable but polished. Smart, casual, business casual, and elegant casual attire required. Okay. No shoes, no service. Apparel that may be offensive or discriminatory is not allowed. Interesting. Okay. So are they saying that hers was considered offensive? Now her shorts, okay, her shorts were, they were short, but she was tasteful. Pets welcome on our curbside something. Service animals are always accommodated. There's one more. Let's see. Mass, okay. Comfortable but polished. Okay. Smart casual. Business casual. Elegant casual. So what if you wore an evening gown with that over the top? So which one do you think that the woman was? I thought she was casual. She was casual, very comfortable. Um, Interesting. Um, I don't know. I didn't think the others. I didn't think the people that were wearing the shorts that they were polished. I thought she looked nicer actually, the black woman. But see, again, it's perception. Perception. Let me continue on. I'm curious what I didn't see the entirety of this specific video. Let me see what else.
I mean, I don't
Tired of flying.
Okay, right of admission reserve. Oh, that's on the very end. Okay.
Make no face come. Shoot us, sir. No, shoot us. What? Bro.
like, it don't say nothing.
Now, I'm glad they got the name. And I'm glad
Okay.
they had the city and state and the actual address. That's how you actually expose something. You got to expose the where it's located and definitely the city and state. If nothing else,
Okay. Okay. So that was a good coverage. I give him a plus for that. That was a good coverage. How could it be? Let me get that the dress code thing. Yeah. See, things like this, it could be hairy. But I thought she was. I didn't see anything wrong. Again, it's Texas, so that's the South. It's 90 something degrees. She, they seem to be nice people. He's wearing shorts. They were both asked to leave, and he was very hostile to the man as well. He could have just said, "Look, your jeans have holes, whatever." Um, something to be. But see, when you be hostile, see, if sometimes people may not know, they can say, "Oh, let me change." I've been to a restaurant once. Um, a, a tie was required for the guys, and I didn't know that. He was bringing me out to that restaurant, and he wasn't from the U.S. and he's visiting, and they just they just said, okay, you can't go in here, but we have a cocktail lounge. You can go in there. So we had something to eat there. Um, so it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Certain places. I mean, this is really hairy. I mean, the area. Comfortable but polished. With all those other people polished or smart casual, business casual, elegant casual attire required. So it's kind of embarrassing because see, there are different rules for different types of people, and I think let me change the. Oh no, let me send that. Yeah, it's kind of hairy because it's interpretation and perception. Remember a couple of. Let me just change it. I'll just change the page. Yes, remember I mentioned some time ago. Yeah, I'll show the other two videos on this subject. But remember, I talked about perception and how. Uh, Being a Black person living in an urban center, uh, you have to be careful how you dress because of perception. And I had said in that video, it's really something that because it shows you that, like I said once that. When you wear, I think we're a black woman, especially if you're a heavy set black woman, and you're wearing unisex clothing, dark colors, baggy, and if you look kind of tired, that's a no-no. That is a no-no. But wearing a nice dress. In the summertime, wear a nice summer dress, a maxi dress. I mean, one time I wore a maxi dress. I mean, um, it just sent out a positive vibe, and I was treated so nicely that day. It's really something. I'm the same person and inside, but I wore this. It was a turquoise and white color dress. And a lot of guys, and I don't mean in a sexual, in a perverse way, but I wore this sundress, maxi dress that goes all the way down to your ankles. Um, the police guys liked it. They treated me very nicely. Men in people would just treat me ultra nice in a positive way, not like a tramp or anything like that. Yeah, I don't have that particular dress. I don't think I have it anymore, but it got very good a feel with it. But certain clothes, um, wearing certain dark colors. I mean, it's not just the color; it's everything. How does it make you look? And if you look at what so-called homeless type women, and the homeless women that you'll find in Manhattan are usually black women. Sometimes you do find white women who are homeless types. But when a white person in New York reaches that low, I mean, they hit really down on the bottom, and their behaviors are really exaggerated and very violent usually. Um, but you have to be careful what you dress. But as you saw in the first video that I shared with you, the woman, the mother, who's getting food for herself and her family, and she was being attacked by a man. What was she wearing? She was wearing a maxi dress, a sundress. It just happened Sunday. So really, you know, it didn't protect her from her own. Isn't that something? She wore a nice maxi dress, and she's getting attacked by a man. She's wearing a maxi dress. So I guess also what you wear, when you wear what you're wearing, may matter. What neighborhood are you wearing it in? Sometimes it doesn't matter. Certain neighborhoods, no matter where we are, it doesn't matter what we wear. But just because who or what we are at the prey and the mercy of others. And no matter what you do, you get screwed. So yeah, I just felt I had to put that in there because I did say in the past, black women, you should wear, it's good to wear certain type of clothing because you'd be treated better. But here, this lady's wearing a maxi dress in the late evening, and she's getting pounded on by a person from her own community slash color, and it didn't protect her. And when she had a son, her minor son, take action, both of them got arrested. So go figure. Okay, so let me continue with the story with the lady with the pants. Let me go back. Just share my screen. Okay, so where was that now? So I showed you that. I showed you that already. Let me see what this one is. Okay, yeah, I was just looking up what the name Babouche means because that was the name of the restaurant. Yeah, Babouche, the Mediterranean restaurant. That was it means about it's a footwear. Yeah, see here, the meaning of Babouche is a slipper of a style that originated in Morocco and that lacks a heel or quarters. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to find, understand what the word meant and what they catering to. Okay. Yeah, a woman's leather slipper, handmade soft, yeah, babouche. Okay, yeah, I would like to get a babouche. Okay, I just was looking up that word. Okay, this one. Okay, what I could find regarding the incident with the black woman and the man wearing shorts. The man was wearing long shorts, and the woman was wearing short shorts, and they were asked to leave. Let's see, um, Dallas Morning News, and when I clicked on it, it didn't allow me to open up the news You have to pay for it. But as you can see, just part of the conversation. Let's see. Uptown Dallas restaurant fires employee who kicked black. That's also that's also what it says here. And when you click on it, this is what happens. See that? You gotta pay. You gotta pay to see it. So that's not gonna help me. Okay. Okay, so you see what happened there. Yeah, I tried to find other news about it, because that's important. If that's what it's really saying, that the employee was fired. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Okay. Oh, so I do have other news for you. Okay, so I just got one video then for the shorts. I thought it was very thorough. Um, it's unfortunate, and again, perception. And I mean, I've heard of things like that before. Um, People, there was a child once, children, little children, preteens, and they were wearing shorts. And they had a black family, and the little boy was wearing shorts. It was like a sporty thing, a sporty event. And so he had shorts and sneakers, and his white counterpart, his age, wearing shorts and sneakers. And the little black kid was asked to leave. And they're pointing to the little white boy with the same thing, with a little t-shirt. And yeah, so perception that you have to be better. You have to dress a notch better. But I think with the lady with the shorts, she just looked good in what she wore. And he didn't like her confidence and their confidence, and they want to squash you. She looked fantastic. Okay, let me show you this video now. Let me see this. Oh, this was interesting. I thought it was a good contrast. All of these were about women of color, and this one I thought was interesting because I think it's about the trend, and what I in different videos try to share, that the climate, the social climate in America, they're trying to trigger people. As I mentioned at the very beginning of this live stream, they're trying to trigger Americans to be reactive, uh, purposely bringing in different types of demographics overnight in the area. And the group, you have to, there have to be a like an adjustment period. But when you're just bringing in someone and you have to learn other people's cultures or accents or what they eat, whatever, you're going to have a problem if you don't have a buffer intro. Okay. Now this one, it says Texas woman arrested for racist rant and attacks against Indian American women. And I have to also add, when they say Indian American, they don't mean a Native American woman called Indian. And no, it's not a black person trying to pass as an Indian, but Asian Indians. And I've seen things like this happen. And it does get me angry. And I thought it was very representative of the anger that's being projected against Asians in general. See, and it's really something. The U.S. seems to hide a lot of news at times. When it's people from the Asian East Asia or South Asia, very, very little news that is shared upon things that happened to them, or with the exception of 2 years ago with the COVID-19. Okay. I'm going to show this video, and I'm going to give comments after. Let me play it now.
It can be investigated as a hate crime.
In the video, you can see Upton come up to the group of friends multiple times, shouting racist remarks. One victim seen on camera calling the police.
She's a white woman wearing a black dress. No, I'm not white. I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican. And I paid my.
Oh,
After appearing to hit multiple women, Upton can be heard saying she wants to be, quote, civil.
I overstepped my bounds, and I'm sorry.
But the calm didn't last long.
I swear to God, I will break the camera. Stop!
There was physical violence in this, but rhetoric like that,
Wow.
how seriously it's handled, just kind of given where we are as society right now.
It was taken very serious. The video was there for us, and we acted upon that less than 24 hours to take this individual into custody.
Since then, Upton is out of jail, posting $10,000 bond. Family or a lawyer for Upton could not be reached for comment.
We are happy that the Plano Police Department was looking into it and they've made an arrest, and we believe that they will do a fair job.
Oh my
ooh.
God, guys, record! She's hitting me! She's hitting me! Oh my God!
And Maggie Vespa joins us now from Chicago.
God,
And a stunning video. And as you said, it's gone viral. On the original post alone, 200,000 views in 2 days. It has been reposted countless times. And police are getting hammered for waiting until the next day to arrest.
Let's see. Let me see anything else that they're going to show there. No. Okay, let me show you the next one. Yeah, this really bugged me when I saw this because I've seen things I saw, even though there might have been a group of Asians, whether it's Asian men or Asian women, it could just be a Lone Ranger type, and they're assaulted. And the anger that I feel when I see this, I do not know why they really they don't seem to show aggression, physical aggression, even when they're with a group. So it's really something. I don't understand it. So let me show you next video. Okay. Let me show you this one. Let me make it large.
I'm Nicole Baker. The incident that you just saw is now under investigation as
Oh,
a
let me go
potential
back.
hate crime.
Let me go back. Okay. Sorry, let me go.
Oh my God, guys, record! She's hitting me! She's hitting me! So our entire sense of safety was shattered.
That's what they look like.
A Plano woman is facing charges tonight, accused of
Ooh.
threatening several Indian American women. Tonight, the women involved are sharing the story with you behind this video, and that's where we're going to begin tonight. We welcome you to CBS 11 News at 10. I'm Doug Dunbar.
I'm Nicole Baker. The incident that you just saw is now under investigation as a potential hate crime.
Aaron Jones speaking with the women who are on the receiving end of that tirade that, as you see, was all caught on camera.
For these three friends, it's hard to not keep reliving what happened.
But yes, in one word, they're terrified. And I felt extremely humiliated that this could have happened in a place like this.
Wednesday night, they were wrapping up a dinner at a restaurant in Plano, saying goodbye in their native language when they heard a woman yelling.
Yeah, the assailant just said, go back where you came from, and she used some harsh words, derogatory words, and then she walked right up to us.
And the first thing he did was, I started recording, and the other friend, she called 911.
Come back here! What? We don't want you here!
Police have identified the woman seen in the video as Esmeralda Upton of Plano. She continues to threaten them again using several expletives.
It hurts you, right? It hurts you real bad.
Then things turn physical.
Oh my God, guys, record! She's hitting me! She's hitting me! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, she's hitting
At that point, did you fear for your
Sorry.
lives?
Absolutely. And she said, just stop recording or else I'm gonna shoot your head off. Our entire sense of safety was shattered in this incident.
They turned off the camera. Police had arrived.
The woman has been asked to leave. She was asked to take a breath analyzer test that she refused. So they told her to call a family member who came and drove her away.
Upton has now been booked into the Collin County Jail on assault and making terroristic threats.
Yeah.
Bond set at $10,000.
We definitely want to see justice served, like that's the thing, right? And so whatever her actions, what her actions were, we just want to make sure that she has the right consequences.
So that people cannot dare to do this again to other people.
And tonight, police tell us they're also investigating this as a possible hate crime. Upton has no prior criminal history. We reached out to her today for comment, but have not heard back. In Plano, Aaron Jones, CBS 11 News.
Wow. Okay. So what's happening there? Yeah, it's just watching it really gets me angry. Because I've seen things and I have a thing against bullies. I do not care what your race or religion is, nationality, if you're a bully. I do not like bullies. And I don't believe in bullying bullies. I hear that there are people that like to bully bullies. No. You stay in your own lane and let karma get those bullies. You don't bully anybody. But when I saw this, yeah, I felt it was important to include that in this video, even though the first two stories pertain to Black women. But I included in this for balance and perspective on who is the victim and who's the perpetrator. The last video that I showed you regarding the Asian women of Indian ancestry, there were four of them women, and in Texas there are a lot of Asian people. I visited Texas before, and yeah, they have an Asian community there, and they do very well. I know of someone who lives in an area, very polished area that I've been to. Oh wow, yeah, it was really nice. And most of the people in that particular area that I visited, I think 40-something% of them are Asian. The homes are humongous and really luxurious. Very nice. Yeah, they work hard. They work as a community, and they're flourishing. And in fact, I mentioned in the past video the demographics. I had to study demographics in college, and people from Asia. The statistic didn't give what specific location in Asia, but I got the impression with that statistic that East and South Asia, that they are the most affluent and the healthiest demographics in America. I had researched that. Wow, it was quite a while ago. I finished school 11 years ago. So this could have been 13 years ago. And the population has grown. The building that I live in, they're doing very well here in New York City. And they're able to afford the luxury buildings. And I'm fortunate enough to live in the building that I live in. I won my name was called in a lottery, not lotto, But with some buildings, you fill an application, and your name gets picked in a lottery, and you have to satisfy the requirements, the financial requirements, which I satisfied, and I got in. It took 13 months, and I almost didn't make it. So I'm very grateful. But you have people who can afford the luxury price tag for these high-rise buildings that are popping up all throughout New York City. So they're doing something right. And that last story with the four women, and I thought it was interesting how they spread out the women, the Indian Asian women, and I thought that was a good strategy. So you could get it at different angles of the incident, so you have different perspective what's going on. They were relatively calm. And what would have happened, people, if they fought back? What would have happened? What would have happened? What would have been the perception? Got four or five Asian women, and one woman that she had to correct the women. I would have just assumed she was some type of Caucasian with a suntan, how she was dressed and her accent. But as she corrected them, she is a Mexican woman and not a white woman. But it would have been interesting because I've met Mexicans that look like her, and they classify themselves as white, as a white Mexican. So I thought it was interesting that now in the United States, and the last name was not a Hispanic last name. It didn't sound it at all. But either way, she said some very pointed things against the Asian women. And I thought it was interesting that, see, if the women didn't have the cameras, what would have happened? The so-called Mexican woman could have said, "Officer, I'm minding my own business, and these four women, they attacked me, and they called me names," right? That could have happened, but that didn't happen. Instead, the Mexican American woman, mistaken as a Caucasian, a white woman, attacked and hit in the face. And when I saw that, it really affected me. I don't know what I would have done. I mean, yes, she was tiny. She was a tiny, tiny little woman. Yeah, there was another video with her that I watched. Yeah, I watched more than one video on the account. Yeah, she said, I'm just like 100 pounds. I want to find that video. Yeah, she's tiny, but she was the aggressor, and it hit those four other women. It is something else. And she didn't like, again, what preceded it. Yes, the women were, according to the story, were saying goodbye in their language, but there are a lot of Mexicans that speak their language that they speak in Mexico, and they can say goodbye, and no one is slapping them in the face. So how come it's not okay? Interesting. This is interesting to me. And I'm not a member of either of these groups, but I find it interesting it's okay, Lily, my little doggy. You want a little snack? Yeah, she's gonna bark. Yeah, she's gonna bark, my little doggy. Come here, I'll give you a little snack. Come on. Sorry, my little doggy. Sometimes she's in the background, and I know, she's going to start barking because she wants a little snack. Okay. Here's a little snack, baby. Okay, here you go, boy. Give my little boy. And this my other little girl. Go eat. Okay. Okay, good girls. Sorry. Yeah, so what was I saying now? Yeah, with the, the angle of this story, what I find interesting, I live and work in, I live here in New York City, and we have an influx from people south of our borders, and some of them have refugee status, some of them, who knows what status, and they're being brought in by families, large families. And you also have Asian people that live here. And again, I'm all for immigration, but I'm not in for foolishness and social engineering. I sense that this, like the incident that you saw with the Mexican American and the Asian Indians, that this is what is being provoked. You have people and new people and people's insecurities and people who want to be on top, or people who may be in top, let's say in Dallas, Texas. You have a lot of Spanish-speaking people in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. But you also have a large, growing Asian community, and they're doing better than the Spanish-speaking people that living in Texas. And so what that Mexican-American woman was experiencing was the fear of not having the same type of supremacy or favor, or having the new kid in town ruffling your feathers because they're doing better. And I just think it's ironic. There are a lot of Americans here, American born here, and a lot of newcomers, and we're losing jobs here. And this, we all want to get a break. We all want to feel like we want something special. We want a new home, a new place to call your home, new opportunities. All of us would like that. Some of us are forced to move to a new location. And with that, you have to play it smart. Don't show off, at least not too much. Be modest when you're new in an area and you in with large groups. Be very modest. Blend in. And so the transition is a little smoother. But this is going to happen. What you saw in that video, the Asian and the Mexican, it's going to be in a city near you. I at times feel what I call the microaggressions that happen in New York City. And Blacks now are a minority within a minority. You have a large number of people from other parts of the Americas. And business-wise, at least the private businesses, in specific, food industry, food prep. You work in a restaurant, or you work in a supermarket, and retail. The Blacks that live here in New York City, that work in the city, they may work for the city transit, Okay. But for transit, you have to take an exam and you have to have a lot of documentation. And see, a lot of places that we go to, they're not requiring any documentations. So they'll hire anyone. And even in the state of Hawaii, yeah, I got, I was let go. I worked I had gotten 2 jobs. I was so desperate for work. Yeah, some of us, black folks, colored folks, mixed race, biracial, we are looking for work. And back in the day, and when I lived in Hawaii, in the island of Maui, it's a pretty island, but it didn't have a lot of pretty things business-wise there, opportunity. It was very hard for me. And I remember the things that happened to me. And they were giving priority to the illegals. And I didn't like that. An illegal could come from anywhere. And illegal does not mean Hispanic. It does not mean that. You could come from Asia. You could come from Europe. You could come from anywhere. And it happened to me. The microaggressions, when they sense that they're being hired because they're trying to please their bosses. And the story of the first story with the guy with the shorts. I'm sorry, that was the second story. The couple wearing the shorts from what was that, Babouche restaurant, Mediterranean restaurant. I felt like, okay, that is okay, the food is Lebanese, that's right next to Israel, and Morocco is in Northwest Africa. And it's a shame that those regions in the world don't seem to really want to embrace their true heritage, Black heritage. Yes, they are mixed race and they speak Arabic. But to dig down into who they really are. I mean, North Africa and what they call the Middle East, and that's Western Asia, Southwest Asia. The original people there were Black-skinned race people. And again, for thousands of years, you had new influxes of people. And the newest influx of people, they came from Iran and Turkey. And so they are paler race people. And they also Islamic. But the true heritage of the people that lived there is different from what they look like now. People forget where they come from or what their true heritage is. And I think, the point I was going to mention here is that why was the couple treated so harshly? It wasn't called for. They could have said, look, your jeans have holes in it, and this is supposed to be classy. That's not considered classic to have the holes in it, whatever. They could have just said that. Said, look, we really, but you were here before. The lady said, I don't know whether husband or wife, but the couple, the man and woman, the lady said she was there before. She said, what's the problem? I don't know how she was dressed before, but it's unfortunate in light of how everybody else was dressed. She seemed compatible in my way. She looked, I think, more stylish than the other people. But they didn't speak out. You notice that in the incident with the shorts? They didn't speak out. Say, hey, why are you saying that to them? We're wearing shorts too. They stayed absolutely quiet. See that? See, some things I think it would be appropriate for you to speak out. You say, we're tired of the race baiting or race this or that. Look, this is America. Come on, let's all get along. We got through with the COVID-19. Come on, let's just chill out. Okay, yes, we're wearing shorts. It's hot outside. They look like nice people. Come on, let's just leave them alone, or we all leave. Sometimes it would be appropriate for all of us to speak out. It also would have been appropriate that, hey, why are you picking on that lady on the train? Hey, you have tons of seat here. Why are you picking on, something? It's spooky. See, now you don't know what to do because, see, if you defend yourself, like in the first video I showed, if you defend yourself as a mother getting food at a hot dog stand at late at night, even though you're in a beautiful dress, summer dress, a maxi dress, and a man punches you in your head 3 times, and your son comes to your rescue, and you're treated like Bonnie and Clyde getting captured. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what preceded it. She was unarmed, but her son came to our rescue and took care of business. Now, I do not promote violence, but I think it's okay when you're getting beat up to protect yourself. And in America, it's becoming hard now what to do, because you could be arrested to protect your inalienable rights, the right to protect yourself. Why? It was just a couple of weeks ago in New York City, where I live. A crazy man is threatening the life of somebody. This man later on is said to have had 40-something arrests. I think he was in his 40s, the man, 30s or 40s. And so some pedestrian, this happened on a train in New York City, and a fellow passenger on the train, in the subway, came to the rescue. And unfortunate, the man gave a chokehold to the man to apprehend him, and they're both on the ground. And 2 other people held him, the man that was getting aggressive. But unfortunate, the hero was arrested, and again, there was a lot of propaganda too happening. You had an organization behind it demanding the arrest of the guy. Yes, the man that choked the guy was a white man, 20-something-year-old veteran, and the man, the victim, the so-called victim, a black man. He was arrested, and I'm not sure whether they're going to arrest the 2 other people who are holding the man that died. Again, they did try to render aid to the man. It was not the attempt to try to kill him, but to hold him down. And they're saying, "Get the cops, get the cops." It's very sad. It's sad for everybody here. You have a lot of mental illness happening in New York City. Well, New York City always had its mental people, but they're doing things to really not help the situation. And so now you have many groups in New York City, many groups, and then the microaggressions. And I could foresee that happening. You have Muslims that I hear in New York City. I think some of them are refugees. They wear the hijab. And I'm sorry, I lost the train of thought. Well, you have them. And so you have conservatism in dress, but you have groups who aren't Islamic and they may wear different types of clothes that might show more. And so clashes could happen. Or you can have, like in Dallas, Texas, one ethnic minority against another one. And I could see that happening because in New York City, where I live, the ones that are doing very well, that could afford the luxury buildings, are oftentimes from Asia. And then you have a growing number of people living from south of the border in an economic hardship. And I can see the two clashing. And some of the things I might hear, one making fun of the other person's food. I mean, they thought they can say it to me. They thought because I was a Black person that I don't mind hearing this Asian person being, made fun of. And I don't like it. I don't like it. You don't have to like somebody. Okay, you don't. There's your right to like or dislike somebody, but to make fun of somebody who's not bothering you, and they can easily say the same thing about your food. And I could see it happening here in New York City. I mean, you have so many different ethnic groups here, and that is the plus about New York. New York has a lot of pluses. I love the ethnic diversity here. I love that. But I don't love social engineering. When you put in something and you're planning and instigating clashing of things. So I get scared sometimes because of the microaggressions. You go into an American store. It's not like an ethnic store you go into and you get something happening to you. You go to an American store. But if a lot of the employees are a particular thing, the microaggressions start to happen and happen to me. And I'm sad about that because I love my city. I love meeting all types of people. But right now, the social engineers, they know human nature. I know different than anybody else. I know different. I have my good and bad moments. But I'm seeing that we're being triggered. And so how do you balance this? But it's all three stories that I mentioned. It's all about perspective on a situation, and based on that perspective, how it's going to be perceived and handled. The woman with the man and the woman, Black couple, wearing shorts when several people there were wearing shorts. The woman who's getting food for herself and her family. Some altercation, and she calls for help, and the son defend the mom. And then the last one, Asian Indians, and a woman who made sure to correct that she's not a white lady, but a Mexican. And she was physically assaulting those women. And I didn't like that. You know what I would like to see one day? I mean, I shouldn't say, I don't want anybody violent. I don't want anybody picking on anybody. But I've been in New York for most of my life. And very, very, very few times, in particular, people from South Asia, you don't really see them fight anybody. So here you had a Mexican woman, hitting Asian women. Now, would have been, I would have liked to have seen that woman, the aggressor, the one who finally got arrested. I would have loved to see her get the same medicine. That would have been justice. That would have been justice, and those women would have had every right to defend themselves from being hit. And the cops might have said, well, a slap is not considered an assault, you know. But if you do a closed fist, I don't care whether it's closed or open, that's an assault. And you have a right to defend yourself. And I'm tired of seeing particular minority groups attack attack Asia. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it'd be nice. I don't know why that you don't see them getting aggressive back. That would be very interesting socially. Why you don't see that from the men or the women, whether they're Hindu or Islamic. You don't see it. But I think in other countries, like in Europe, there are gangs and stuff like that there. But in the United States, I don't know any South Asian gangsters per se. I don't know of any. But I mean, again, we're not to put our hands on anybody. If you feel upset about something, I say certain areas just avoid. If you know you don't feel comfortable with certain types of people, don't go there. Don't go there. And sometimes I feel that people are trying to rub something in my face. So I just know I won't go back there again. Yep. If I feel someone is trying to rub it in my face with something, just don't go there again. It's just the signs of the times, people, that we're being triggered. Don't fall for it. And I say that to myself too. Don't fall for it. Sometimes better to just go inside, stay inside. Order food, order your food at home. I mean, it's coming to that. I didn't go out today, and yes, it did rain hard. I didn't feel like going out. But sometimes, you may need to, I mean, I don't want to be a prisoner in my home. I feel that's what's happening now. That see, if you have money to leave, that you can leave. There was something else I saw. Yeah, I forgot about this other story. But it's to trigger people. See, they're using anybody. The enemy is using anybody and anything. I showed you those 3 stories, but let me show you. Again, the crimes. See, they want to take away our rights, our ability to protect ourselves. Let me show you another thing. It really got me angry. And I think it is to, where's that now? No, it's not it. Okay, let me find it here. Let me see here. He's a good, I enjoy watching his videos. Was it here? No, let me see. Oh, I must have, boy. Well, I'm trying to look for, there's something that was showed. Yeah, see, okay, that's the incident with the Chicago mom. Not that one. There was, hope I can find it here. Let me just scroll here. Oops. Okay. Was it this one? Yeah, this was an interesting story. And I sense something like this is going to happen in New York City too. This was kind of spooky. And back in the 1970s, yes, I do go back that far, people. There were incidents that reminiscent of incidences. I hope this is a part of it. Let me show you.
Not there too long either, because like I said, it's a stand down thing. Even with a new mayor, ain't nothing changed but leadership in office here in Chicago. I'm just keeping it real. So watch this here. These kids literally act a plum fool. And like I said, does it happen in other cultures? Yes, it does. But I'm telling you, we being paid off as a mob
Yep,
to
yep.
destroy the social fabric of America.
Mischief and mayhem.
That was really horrible. They had ransacked the store.
Vanessa Boyd and other Burnsville residents describing the tumultuous scene last night at 31st and Michigan.
There was a whole bunch of kids out here. They was all in the gas station. They were causing a mess.
I know as teenagers we made mistakes, but we have never done anything like this.
Hundreds of young people, according to witnesses, migrating from a lakefront gathering.
I just had to put it on pause. When I see things like that, again, if that's his own car, he's sitting on his own car. But I get the impression, people, that is not his own car, and they're stopping traffic. And if you say anything to those kids, you're going to be the racist. And no, I'm not cooning. I'm just saying as it is. This is inappropriate behavior. This is inappropriate. If they're minors, they should be at home. They should be at home. Parents, where are your children? Back in the 1970s and 80s, there was a commercial that came on from the news. It says, how'd it go? Parents, do you know where your children are? Do you know where your children? Where are they? Where are they? They should be at home. They don't like where they live. They don't have anything better to do but to do this foolishness. They should be at home. Why don't they go stay at home, read a book, do videos, right? That would have been a better solution than to do the. What would happen if someone in that vehicle felt that their life was in danger? Then what they're going to say, they were racist and they didn't like me sitting on his car and because of my skin color, right? They would have said something like that, right? And then you're going to have these black organizations. You did a bang bang on an unarmed black person. But see, we have to people of the black community, we have to call out our own. So you have to clean your laundry first before you talk about somebody else's laundry. You know, I'm a member of this community, the black community. And when I see things like this as an adult, and I'm wondering, where are these people's parents? Where are the parents? And I think some of these parents would encourage this behavior. See, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree many times. You have children who are undisciplined in their behavior. Most likely, the parent is not too far from from them, And when I see this young person jumping on top of the roof, what if he had a vehicle and let's say a white person or an Asian person did that to them? What if? Oh, they wouldn't like it. See that? See, this is what you call also microaggression. This is a little bit more elevated than the microaggression, and this is a little bit more tactile, but it's getting there. This is aggressive, and they might some black adults might say, "Oh, they're just having fun." Well, why don't they have fun in their own backyard, doing foolishness in their own property, inside their home? But see, a bird and the feather oftentimes flock together. You have losers for children. You usually got losers that are parents, or you have parents that they could have money actually, but they're at work all day, and the children are unsupervised, and they're bored, and they want attention, and they want to see how far they can go and get away with. They want to see how far they can get away with. And again, this is the beginning of summer. And what I fear, see, you have a place like New York City that's festering right now. It's festering. It's hot and sticky right now. It's in the 70s right now, but it feels really hot in here. And you have a whole bunch of kids now that are out of school and no jobs for them. There are no jobs for American Black youths here in New York City, because now, remember, our Black mayor has brought in by busloads families of people from other countries getting good treatment and services that my taxes and their parents' taxes are paying for. And you really screwed up. We screwed up. And so who's going to get those jobs? And you don't have to even know how to speak English to get a job here in New York City. They're being hired because there's cheap labor, and with cheap labor, often cheap products. And I feel that I am being forced to have to buy over the internet to get certain products, because I don't like attitudes. I know I might sound a little irritated right now, but it's frustration. What you hear me. My voice is frustrated. I'm frustrated for my fellow New Yorkers, my fellow Americans. I love the American people, but I don't love the chaos, what's happening, and the infighting. I don't like that. I identify with this country. This is the land of my birth, my parents' birth, and I'm a veteran. And I want to protect the land that I love. And I'm all open for lawful and orderly immigration to America. Just like if I wanted to move overseas, I would like things to be open for me. And if I'm legally able to enter, then I'll be able to enter without the harassment. But the system is being provoked. I sense something like this, what you see here, could happen in a city near you. And they're using especially young Black people as Dobermans, as aggressors to do the dirty work. And that in the end, these Black kids, these Black families will be destitute, and that these people are potentially digging their own grave. Let me show more.
31st condition. Throwing trash everywhere, the crowd blocking traffic, and in a few instances, even climbing up on startled motorists' hoods before windows were broken out at this nearby BP gas station. These photographs showing the aftermath of what witnesses say was dangerous looting and destruction. Chicago police called to disperse the crowd.
About 150 police people walking on bikes, detective cars, there was a bunch of them.
Local residents.
See that? Yeah, this is, let me go back a little bit. See, this is very sad because, see, these images people see, okay? People, you have people from other communities. Let's say an Asian community is watching this news. They're going to say, hey, I'm afraid of these Black people, these young Black people. They're out of control. Or let's say white people. Or let's say immigrants from Africa watching this. They say, hey, these American Blacks are crazy. They can say that. And watching this, I would think so too. It's crazy. And so they're not going to trust you. And if you go into someone else's community and you're harmless, you just want to buy something, and they may not want to serve you. That's why it's important how you carry yourself outside. What will people perceive, especially if your area is bringing in people from all over the world, and they'll be competing for your jobs. Schools, school programs, they'll be competing, and you're not going to get in there. And they are. And then you're going to get angry. So some of the things, you're setting yourself up for failure. See, they're using your numbers, and that you're forced to live in these small, condensed areas. And then during the summer, you pop out. It's too hot in your homes, no air conditioning. And then they don't really have places designed for Black people to hang out. That's one thing I noticed in the United States. So back in the day, the places where Black folk would go who aren't criminal types, they go to church. I had a friend that had a church service on, was it Friday evenings? They had something on Wednesday, and they have the Sunday, right? But now, the church doesn't have the same pull as it did back in the day when I was growing up. And now they just said, screw religion, and they're worshiping themselves to do havoc. They're frustrated, they're angry, and they're being exploited. I feel in part that their social history is being exploited, and they're only being used as a weapon of social deprecation. When they want to cause a rift, you trigger these people and you cause them to vandalize the store. This was happening. They're angry. It's hot out there, and they did vandalism. And I'm sure that it didn't just happen in 2 minutes. That they were already congregating, and this YouTuber who's sharing this video, showed that there were police cars in the area, so they knew about them. But it's part of social engineering. Let me share that part because he's going to mention that. Let me just keep on. Let me go Farrett.
Disturbance.
Let's see. Okay.
A state of shock. Chaos. Look, people, I'm telling you, I don't just do these videos to be bumping my gums. The powers have disturbed other nations and other cultures overseas for decades. This is one of the reasons why I can forecast this. I see the pattern. Disturbance. Hey, now they got the solution for you. Bronzeville is arguably the crown jewel of the Black community. That is That area has been set up and is being nurtured as an example for all Black communities. If we can't act right over there, come on now, work with me. Target it. Somebody need to get them cell phones and find out what these kids are really doing, like independent journalists. They getting on social media and they, look, that area what I just showed you with that gas station, it's less than 4 blocks from the lake. So they went out to the lake, chilled out all night, came down the street, and ransacked their own community. I was talking to a friend of mine last night. I said, you need to understand the history of how this social dynamic works. The powers, they know how to set this up. Just like they put guns and drugs in our neighborhood started in the 70s and created one parent households by giving the mother the check and telling the man he can't come there and stay on the property. They're at it again in another fashion. They're going after the youth. Like I said in my video the other day, nothing works unless there's cooperation. Getting sucked in and creating your own demise. It hurts because I live here. My mom would have whooped my butt in so many directions and you've been like, I've been looking crazy the next morning. My grandmother too. Now, it's been flipped. It's been flipped. Now the adults are running scared. And you wonder why in some of these communities, not only Black, where now, even after COVID, they can't regroup. They can't regroup after the pandemic. When you have fear and this foolishness going on, who's shopping after 5 and 6 o'clock at night being in these communities? Not many. The senior citizens are moving out of the community. The more affluent Blacks are leaving the community. So now you got lower middle class or whatever, probably predominance in some of these neighborhoods. And those who had the focus to try to develop places like Bronzeville, they're probably, half of them probably saying, I wish I had never tried to regroup and rebuild my community. Because now I'm a prisoner at my own house.
Okay. Yeah. I feel his pain. Yeah, I've been watching this YouTuber for a little over a year now. Yeah, he's hit it right on the head. Right on the head. Yeah, I feel the pain. I feel his pain, and I'm sad. And what we're saying may be offensive to some Black people. But we have to speak out. I speak out when bad things happen to Blacks or other people. But when we do something wrong, we have to speak out. Because we're all at danger. It's dangerous to have young people unsupervised. And then when someone gets angry, and let's say they had a weapon, and use it, and then you're going to cry wolf. Keep your children at home. Have things for them to do. Have things for them to do. A healthy child is better than a dead child. Keep them at home. Have things for them to do. This is very sad, and I have a feeling it's just going to get worse. I mean, summer's just here. August is our hottest month in New York City. It's the hottest, and it's very sticky. I have the window open, cracked open. It's very feels humid and sticky. Yeah, it says that it's 77 degrees, but it feels much hotter. It's very muggy and damp. Yeah, I really love my country. I love my country, and I want the best for all of us out there. But we have to come together. And I feel the microaggressions when whites or Asians of different types see videos like that, they're going to be scared and afraid to deal with us. When I go to let me show you this. I used to go to, wow, this how ironic. I used to go to last year, that was the last time I went to the VA hospital here. Yes, I am a veteran. And I don't like how it's being handled. You have some good individuals, but I just don't like the politics. I don't like how I'm treated there. It's not a lot of female veterans. It's overwhelmingly men that go there. And here, hardly any females veterans, and how I'm treated. Shameless at times. And especially during the COVID was a really bad experience. Bullying. I didn't like that. And I felt at times that I was disliked. And again, I never saw the person before, this practitioner. And I felt the hatred from this person. And I spoke nicely to them. I said, I hope you have a good day. Because I knew what I saw what she probably thinks of me. But I knew to keep cool. They're just being very nice. So they cannot say, oh, that black lady. See, sometimes people test you. They're testing you. Because they want to say, oh, I bet this black person or this white person or this yellow person or red person is going to say such and such. And I was tested like this many years ago, over 35, almost 40 years ago. And I was new at this person's behavior, but I had an idea what it was. But I kept my cool, and it was a work situation. I did temp work. I was a secretary. I did a secretarial temp work, and the client didn't like me. She didn't know I was going to be a person of color, and she mistreated me. And she purposely had me wait on while she was on the phone for a half an hour, to keep me there half an hour. She wouldn't pay me for that half an hour. And so back then in the day, we had paid telephones. And when I got outside, I made sure I had enough women's wisdom. So I knew my instinct was it had to be a racial incident. I mean, motivated. But I knew enough, don't say that word. So I just gave the specific. I didn't describe what the lady was or anything. I just said the incident, what was done and said to me. That's it. And then I started bursting out crying. And they paid me. Yes, sometimes, it's hard. Other situations that you're tested. Because of these images, we have a bad image in the media. And you have innocent black people out there and people who want to say, I told you so. And then do things to provoke you to anger. But luckily, I had enough wisdom. Some of us have wisdom, knowledge, and truth. And truth will always prevail. Truth is the true spirituality out there. And it's my desire to live by truth. And yes, people being triggered, people watch and say, okay, this is how this group acts like. It would have been nice after the 1950s, 60s, and 70s that blacks would have been left alone and to prosper and to allowed industry. The Black community is not allowed to do industry and are harassed by the police. How come you don't see Asians, whether they're from India or China? Why don't you see them being harassed by the police? Why? Because of the politics. And I think some of the police are taught who to harass and who not to. And I think it's money being involved, being paid off to the police according to how many people they arrest. And Blacks, people of the diaspora, whether you're a Black Latino, Francophone, Portuguese speaker, those people of color of the Americas, any of those people, that they are game for money, that you could harass them, cheat them, or have them fight each other. It's a sick system. We have to be on top of this. We're being provoked. And there's only so many places where you can hide. Where we're going to hide? Those people who still live in the city like myself, where could I run to? Some countries you can't take your money with you, people. I'll repeat, some places you cannot take your money. And if people like the video that I showed you regarding the 4 Asian ladies from India being assaulted by the tiny Mexican, actually calls herself a Mexican woman, and she felt that confident that she can just hit them and hit them on camera. I'm glad she's arrested. And I hope she gets charged with a hate crime. You hit somebody, you should be arrested, right? And using slurs to them, she should have been arrested then. But they didn't. Well, within 24 hours they did. But some people are arrested right away. Hey girl, yes, I'm doing good, and just sharing a story. I recounted 3 different stories here in this live stream. I'm just wrapping up. Yeah, I talked about there was a woman, a Black woman, getting some food at a hot dog stand, and again, they didn't show what happened in between, but she was getting punched in the head by a Black man. And before she got punched in the head, she texted her son that was waiting in the car for her. And so when the son came and the guy punched his mom in the head, the son, who is a minor, shot the man, did a bang bang. Yeah, I just learned of this this news. Yeah, so she was being vilified. They did find her because after the incident, after the son did the bang bang, they left. But they never, at least I could not find any videos of an interview of the store owner on what happened, why did the man punch the lady in the head, what was going on. But that wasn't shown. But one of the news reports just give a very brief news and made the woman and the son look like perpetrators when the mom was being assaulted and the son only came to the mother's rescue. So you don't have a right to protect your mom. It's really weird. And then the second story is about a Black woman wearing shorts with a couple was wearing, a Black couple wearing shorts, and they were asked to leave an establishment in Dallas, Texas, and they were, the couple had a camera on and videoing that there were other people there with shorts. So I did that video, and then the last video was of the the third to the left. Wait, the third video was about what was that about again? Yeah, I did about the Asian. Oh God, I said so. I can't remember now. Let's see the people with the shorts, the lady that shot the shot. Oh, and the three Asian ladies. Yeah, three Asian ladies. No, four Asian ladies, and a Mexican lady that looks Caucasian. And the Mexican lady was verbally threatening and racial slurs against the Asian ladies and hitting them on camera. It looked bad. She did get arrested. Yeah. So people are just, so the point of this live stream, Nubian, was that people are being triggered to do things, and it's summer now. It's getting hotter, and people are being triggered to do things, and I feel it's social engineering and exploiting our hurts and pains and vulnerabilities, and pitting one group against another, one new group against like the Mexican felt threatened by the Asians. It's really bad, really, really bad. And to feel that freedom to hit somebody, it really bugged me. Yeah, you don't hit anybody. And the boldness that she felt that she could just get away with it. Oh wow, yeah. So I share those videos on this live stream, and then I mentioned the last one, also in Chicago, pack of black teens. They're just it was a whole pack of them, and they're blocking traffic, and they were jumping on cars. What if it was their car? Would they want somebody to do? You got to be. You don't want someone to do that to you, so why are you doing it to them? See, these are microaggressions. And yeah, that was the point. That's they are when you have different ethnic groups, racial groups, nationality groups, you're going to have what's called microaggressions. And these microaggressions are going to pit one group after another. And I think the same thing is going to happen here in New York City. That's what I was talking about. That was the last thing I was saying. And I said, don't fall for it, people. Stay at home. Keep your kids at home. Know where your kids are. Check out. Make sure that they are where they are. You shouldn't have your kids out on the street like that. And give them, what do you call it? That you expect certain things from them, that don't shame the family name. Don't shame, don't carry yourself in a shameful manner. These kids don't care anymore. And the parents don't care either. It's sad. We have to get ourselves together, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the things that are happening. I can't change the way that I look. I am who I am. And some people, as a result of watching some of those videos that I showed, they are not going to like certain types of people. And I'm aware of this. And I'm aware that certain behaviors or certain conduct, I have to be on my toes. I shouldn't feel like being a 60-year-old woman that I have to walk on my toes, because I might scare someone. Oh, I remember that what I was going to say. Yeah, I was saying that I am a veteran, and these microaggressions, and you have foreigners who may see these videos on these black kids, and they're not going to like them. And the microaggressions. And I was showed hatred at the VA hospital here in Manhattan by new immigrants. They are bringing in, and they're bringing in people from other countries to be the new doctors, medical doctors. You don't see any Black American doctors. None. And I wouldn't mind, a doctor's a doctor, right? When growing up, you don't question. In the past, when I was an adult, my doctors were white. As a preteen, my doctor and my dentist were Black Americans. They're extinct now. Black American doctors. Here I live in New York City and no Black American doctors. But about the fear now. So you have these new ethnic groups that don't trust you now. Don't even trust the Black veterans. Many of us may be married to people from other nationalities because many of us live in different parts of the world, or they bring in their spouses. They marry, like they're stationed overseas, and they get married to a local person, and they come back to the States. We've been all over the world, some of us. You think I care what someone's race or nationality or color is? I don't care. But here in America, people only know what they feel and what they experience. And what a lot of these new immigrants are experiencing, they're experiencing that they're not liked by other Black people. And a lot of Black American people may not like these new people. And there's no introduction. Who are they? Why are they here? They may feel. And so now you want to go to the doctors, and the doctors are afraid of you. I went to a doctor once at the VA hospital many years ago, and she was afraid. I couldn't believe it. And another one was this microaggression. Yeah, I don't know. There's not many women, period, at the VA hospital. Most of the patients are male. So what is this? What's happening that they're afraid of me? So I recently left the VA hospital system this year. And guess what? The three doctors the three doctors I went to this year, all of them were Asian. All of them. I needed to see a doctor earlier this year, and I didn't want to go to the VA, and so I paid to see this doctor I had in the past. I don't know what country in Asia she's from. And then I was referred to another doctor for a specialist. And this was an Asian woman, a South Asian woman. And she was nice. And she actually advocated for me and got me a big discount. And then I had to go to an eye doctor earlier this month. And guess who was this doctor? Was an Asian woman, a South Asian woman. And then I had to go see a physician to follow up on earliest, because now my insurance thing came in. So that's why the eye doctor and the last doctor, the physician, was through the new insurance that I have, medical insurance. And what was that one? A South Asian doctor. So isn't it ironic that people may be afraid of certain types of people, but their clients will be Black and Hispanic here. Isn't that something? We have to get along, people. We have to get along. Yeah, I don't like the politics. I don't understand why you're able to find medical students from Asia, but you can't find medical students from Black America to work in a Black neighborhood. It's I think this is criminal. I think it's criminal, and this is part of social engineering. And I think people, like maybe people, other people, maybe these young kids, they may not be able to verbalize what they're feeling, but they know they feel a certain way and they don't understand why they feel what they feel. But maybe this might be part of the reason that this social engineering, they can smell it in the air. They can smell it, but they can't put their finger on it. And it's getting some of us angry and it's triggering us. They're getting triggered. And then you have the new immigrants that want to cater to non-Black people. And so when that Black couple came in with the shorts, even though you had whites there with shorts on, but you're considered something else. That white, so it's different rules for whites and Blacks and what you can wear. And also, I've mentioned in the past, taxi drivers here in New York City. I had an emergency and I needed to get to a taxi, and it was my little pooch. She weighed 9 pounds, had her in my arms. I had said, this emergency, I have to get to the hospital. And the taxi man yelled at me, "You can't come in this taxi with that dog without a crate." But you know what? Okay, now I came, this was a West African man. Much of the people, it was a taxi stand, and much of the people there at that time, this was around approaching 11 p.m. at night, a couple of years ago, and looked like West African people, Black people, and so I had to run back home, get the crate. But they're all gone. I said, "What happened to the people?" "Oh, they went on their break." So I found a police officer. "Officer, I need your help. I need a taxi. Please get me a taxi. I have to get to the hospital with my dog. Please, emergency." He said, "Oh, well, you could wait at over there. That you should be able to get a taxi." So I did find the taxi, but the same vicious talk. The same vicious talk. "I'm not going to move the cops, the taxi man. I'm not going to move this taxi until you put that dog in the crate." Now, this was hurting my pooch. So why did I make that share that story? See, it's about perception. I think the whole thing about perception. How do they perceive? They perceive me as the Black devil, the Black enemy, even though these were Black Africans. But they treat white and Asian people, light-skinned Asians, a different way. Because after that incident, I had noticed there was a yellow taxi like the one I tried to get into, and that a pit bull, a large pit bull, no crate. It was a white lady, and she's a big white lady. And she says tonight, "Oh, do you take dogs?" That's all she said. And the South Asian looking man, I didn't hear him say anything, but he went in his truck and got this device and starts clicking on it. And they were off. She got a ride. And a yellow taxi. And then again, a young white woman and her dog, a medium-sized dog, and Lassie boy just jumped right in. See that? These are what you call microaggressions that happen here in large cities like New York City, where I'm from. And so when people see, and again, I'm going to show you again, I see now we have some people watching now. Let me just share you that the video, that so you understand where I'm coming from, where some of the fear and hostilities are coming from Okay, let me show you. Was it that? Oh, no, maybe it's not that one. Is that it? Oh, no, that's not it. Not that one. Okay. Might be this one. Let me fast forward. Let me try to find it here. Boy, I hope I can find it. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening. Okay, let me show you why some of these new immigrants, black and brown and yellow, don't like some of us, and they do these microaggressions. But some of the things we provoke. Let me show you.
Residents describing the tumultuous scene last night at 31st and Michigan.
There was a whole bunch of kids out here. They was all in the gas station. They were calling them mess. I know as teenagers we made mistakes, but we have never done anything like this.
Hundreds of young people, according to witnesses, migrating from a lakefront gathering to the 31st and Michigan.
Throwing trash everywhere.
The crowd blocking traffic and in a few instances even climbing up on startled motorists' hoods before windows were broken out of this nearby BP gas station. These photographs showing the aftermath of what witnesses.
Okay. So these are type of things that news footage that is out there that Asians, Africans, white people, Europeans, and anybody could see, and they don't know how to deal with us, with other Black people, and they'll assume certain things because of your race, what they perceive your race to be, and with perception, and this is a whole thing with this live stream is about perception. How are you perceived? And based on the perceptions, how are you treated? And what is the outcome of that perception? That's my little doggy. What's wrong, doggy? You angry too? You being racially profiled, doggy woggy? She might need another treat. That's what it is. Come here, baby. Yeah, these are the microaggressions. So when you see things like this, where's that other picture? When you see kids like this, unsupervised, jumping on your car, you think people are gonna like you? So it doesn't matter that I'm a 60-year-old woman. I didn't feel comfortable using the VA hospital because you have people who are angry. Maybe they had a bad experience with young Black Americans, right? And they can't stand it. And they're going to act out. They may not want you in the store. Or the store that I showed earlier in the live stream. Yeah, we got a lot more people here coming on. Let me show you the other video. Yeah, I've been on for a while. I was about to go, but let me show you the first video that I show. Okay, woman. Oh no, not that one. Let's see. Oh, not that one. I'm looking for the one with the person in the shorts. Okay, this one. Let's see here. Yeah, there was a. Let me put it back here. This was the first video I showed.
You can see it right there, sir. Sure, it is right there.
Wait a minute.
Okay. What's the dress code? You can see it right there, sir. Sure, it is right there. The dress code. Okay.
They said my friend that we can't wear shorts, but there's people that do with shorts on. Right here. We can't wear shorts, but we got people in here with shorts on in 90-degree weather.
Okay.
Let's kind of what the weather is. Because we got people here with shorts on. It's 91 degrees out. We can't have shorts on. There was no issue before Dominique walked in with these shorts on. It was all good just a week ago. Come on, bro. I'm waiting till this morning.
I done told 30 minutes already.
But we gonna find some rate. Don't worry about it. But they could get viral now.
Okay.
Hey, I feel viral, bro. Get excited.
Watch what happens.
Yeah, now we doing this.
See, microaggressions.
I have an ass. Hold on, Dominique. Hold on. We gonna wait for Frank to come out. Cause Frank got shorts on. Frank got shorts on. Oh, God forbid. Oh, Frank got shorts on. No issues, no problems. So what's your name?
See, this is the mic.
That's your name? Is that how you treat all your customers?
See, this is what you call microaggressions. Microaggressions. See, they might have seen videos of Black people acting out. Now, yes, there was a dress code, but it's to interpretation. It said, well, I'll show there is a thing about the dress code, but it's all about interpretation. Again, you see that there are people there wearing shorts, but I think it's the microaggression because these are Black people. I think the Black lady looks nice. She's dressed very nice. But let me show you more.
Do you not give me your name? Are you the manager here? I'm just asking.
Wait a minute, let me back up again. Again, now, if he was a real business person, he said, look, we do have a policy. We don't want anything with holes or whatever. Be polite about it. He says, look, you can change your clothes out, and come back, and we'll gladly serve you. But again, microaggressions is that they don't want you there, and they want to kiss up and play up to the system or who they think the system is, and that's who they're trying to please at your expense, Black people. So let me go on. Those who are just coming on, let me show you the video.
You the manager here? All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so we know what's going on, I don't want to alarm anyone. We're being asked to leave because my friend has shorts on. I have shorts on. They have shorts on, but there's no issue here. You guys aren't going viral. This place will be. So I sincerely apologize about that because this is happening. Okay. So, sir, can I get your name before we leave? Is that a no? We've been asked to leave because we have shorts on. Yeah, everyone's thighs are out today, but apparently this is a problem for them. This is just too much. It's over the top. So that's the issue we're having. Yeah, so apologize for interrupting you guys. It's brunch. It just had to be said. I'm so sorry. It just had to be said.
See, look at this woman. Looks like a Caucasian woman of some type. And she's clearly wearing shorts and looks like sneakers. But she's they're not being bothered. They're not being bothered, and they're not speaking out either. Then I say, hey, how can you bothering them and I'm wearing short? You know what I mean? Some things I think would be very appropriate for other people to speak on and say, that we know why they're being targeted because they're Black. And she's dressed more elegant, I think, than some of the others. And I like her hat, and she's wearing nice shoes. She looks like a nicely dressed woman. Yeah, it's a little sexy. Nothing wrong with being a little sexy. She loves her figure, and she got a good figure, but it's not fair. And again, you're going to see the microaggressions when you have a new ethnic group trying to pander to the establishment at your expense. You're going to see. So it's personal.
Shall we take our business somewhere else? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Go ahead. Sorry, I can't get your name for real? No.
Look what he does.
Bro, you're so professional. Lock the door because they're storming the Capitol. No, bro, I gotta go back in there.
He locked the door like they left.
Yeah. Yes, bro, this is happening, bro. Bro, it don't matter. That's what I'm saying.
Look at that.
You mad at them?
Wow. See that? His pouch.
I know. Oh man, no. No, but you know, bro.
See that is microaggression. See that? He could have just said, look, we have a policy, but it was hostile. Like the people who like the taxi driver, I'm sorry. Yeah, like the taxi driver. I wasn't hostile. It was an emergency. I need to get to the hospital. I needed a taxi to get me there. And the aggression that was projected at me. And it's not like there was a long line. I was the only one in need of a taxi at that moment. And they're pandering. And these people were darker than me. So it's not about skin color. It's about perception. And if you're not perceived to be of their tribe, their nationality, their language grouping, or their religion, and when they become larger in number, and when they see you as an American, that's why I am an American born and a veteran, and the microaggressions that will start to happen to you. You're going to start speaking out. As I was taught, skin folk isn't necessarily kinfolk. So it might look like you, but they don't like you, and they don't represent you, and they want to remove you. And so that's what I'm bringing out here as well, that none of us are safe. None of us are safe because they're going to use the race card. They're going to use the using these black kids. They're using these black kids as weapons. Oh, that's the Asian couple. What's that one? Yeah, they're going to use that as a weapon and frighten people. See that?
They was all in the gas station. They were causing a mess. I know as teenagers we made mistakes, but we have never done anything like this.
See that?
Hundreds of young people, according to witnesses, might.
See that? So when decent black people go to the medical doctors, and now all the medical doctors that I've been given were all Asian. There's nothing wrong with Asian people. But when you have new groups perceived to be doing better than you, you're going to get these type of people here, young black people, no jobs for the summer, and you think these new immigrants are going to hire any of these people? You got to be out of your mind. This is just the beginning, people. And they're weaponizing young black people to be an instrument to create havoc. They want to take away, the system wants to take away your rights to bear arms, your rights to protect yourself, your rights to, hey, you're being victimized in a store buying hot dogs. A man is beating you in your head, and your son comes to arrest you, and both of them are arrested. Both of them are arrested. Yes, this is what's happening. Please, family, people out there, advise your children, stop with the foolishness, prepare for your future, create a future. If you don't like it here in America, maybe it might be best for you to go somewhere else or find your own community, but don't be used as a weapon for someone who wants you gone. You're being manipulated to do this. I have a feeling that these people were told to do just what they're doing. And why? Yeah, they could have been paid to do just that. Why did they congregate all at once at the at the lake. What were they communicating on social media? Hey, let's all meet here, and then let's go back and do such as who is behind all this? I've never seen something that big. But growing up, I have seen groups of it was all groups of young men back in the 70s, and they just run around and do havoc and beat up people who were different than them. It was very, very sad. You have to use wisdom, people. Use wisdom. Having your children out here in the street being foolish is not wise. You don't want any more body bags in your community. Stop this. Stop this. Find some other alternative to hang out at. Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, yeah, it's horrible. And when I was a teenager, I stayed at home. I did go out, but I was back at home at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening. That was the latest. Once it started getting dark, I got home. That's when I returned home. Yeah. I feel sorry for kids now because kids seem to have to be their own parents because they don't have parents at home. Be parents to your children, people. You brought them in the world. Be parents. Be parents. They want disciplined kids. They want to be told to do wise things. They want to feel loved and nurtured. Nurture your children. Love your children. Have them go in the military or something like that, but just don't have them do this. This is not right. And they're destroying their own neighborhoods. They're vandalizing stores. Come on. Then you wonder why some people don't like you. You're making it easy for them to dislike you and to fear you. And innocent Black people, we're caught in the middle. We can't just move. It costs money to move. And not all countries allow you to take your money overseas. And that's what happened to me when I wanted to leave last October of 2022. I was all prepared to go, had 6 more weeks to go, and then I found out what I found out. The story changed, and I'm stuck here. Where can I go? I have 3 little dogs that I love. You know, you can't take your pets on the buses here. You know, you go on, on the trailway. The dogs, you can't bring them up aboard. So I feel stuck here in New York City. And if it's a real emergency, I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to evacuate New York City with a lady with 3 little dogs. Wow, I feel stuck here. Yeah, if any of you guys know what I could do, yeah, I have 3 little dogs. And some places, if they're a service dog, these are not service dogs. And a service dog is different from a comfort animal. And the maximum places that did allow dogs, but you had to be a certain type of dog, 2 maximum. I said, wow, what the hell what am I going to do? Yeah, I pray. I guess I got to pray real hard for favor. Yeah, I love this city, despite all these things that happen. It really is a great place, and America really is a great place. That's why everybody wants to come here. It is a fantastic country. If you go over to the freedoms that we have here in America, and there's some Black people think there's no freedom here. Well, go overseas. Go overseas. Go in the Middle East and see how much freedom you have. Go there. Go there. You can't get away with what you get away here in America. This is a pretty liberal country. compared to other places. Yeah, I love America, but I don't love the things that are happening. I don't love what's happening here. Yeah, let me see the comments before I go here. Let's see. Yeah, they're blaming the victim. Yeah, Nubian. Yeah, it's hot here. Yeah, it's very hot. Let's see. A lot of countries are getting away from accepting the U.S. dollar. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. The dollars. Yeah, we're some of the countries they're not going to use the U.S. dollar. Yeah, I've been seeing now a lot of so I shouldn't say a lot, but several African countries now they want to unite. Three of the countries in East Africa they want to unite and to use unite financially to use the same currency and not to use the U.S. dollar. And some African countries are speaking out and say, "Hey, we don't like you to be treated like we're children, that like a handout." And I respected that. I respected that. Yeah, perception. See again, people, perception. What is the perception on how they view you and what they will do based on that perception? How do they perceive people from Africa? What do they do to people from Africa? Africa's not a country; it's a continent with was that 51 nations? It's a lot of countries. Yeah, I wanted to move to Africa. It's changing, and how they're going to view, just because someone might call themselves a Black American, when they go to some countries, like some countries in Africa, they may not perceive you as one of them, and they may not like you. And some people, American Blacks or Blacks in Europe who go to Africa, have been leaving because they're being overcharged. These little things that were happening to them. It's sad. It's really sad. Oh, Nubian say wanted to move to Africa as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love America. I have a good deal here, Nubian. I have a very good deal here. I have a comfortable home. I can buy food. If I needed to go to doctor, go to doctor. All these type of things, you can easily take for granted. There are places that don't have hospitals. Places they don't have mass transit if you need it. A veteran, veterinarian for your dogs. I got 3 little dogs. There are things that other places don't have. Yeah. You really can't get it in other places. Even within the United States, 24/7 shopping. Some places they're gone. I mean, they're quiet. After a certain hour, everybody goes home. Or places in the Caribbean. I've been in the Caribbean. I used to live in the Caribbean briefly for 3.5 years. And after working, after 6 o'clock, everybody races home. And it's a ghost town, that city. Ghost town. Yeah, nothing's open, boy. They're home. And there's a lot of domestic violence in some of these places. Domestic violence. They don't talk about these things. Yep. So I am very fortunate, and I want to count my blessings that I'm in a country that has a lot of potential. It's a beautiful country, but it's weaponizing its people and causing them jealousies and fears and microaggressions that will increase as the days get hotter. Yeah. People buy they have these little portable air conditioners. It's like a cube. It's like maybe 6 by 6, and it's a little dinky one, but it's supposed to puff out a lot of cold air. Yeah, uses a little energy. Maybe invest in that. Invest in that so you keep your kids at home staying cool. The cooling centers also, libraries, museums might be places, and actual cooling centers, because you have a lot of elderly people too, and they can't afford the electricity bill. I mean, to pay for electricity, so they have those things for them. So in the daytime they could go to these places. When it gets cool, they go home at night. You got to use your head. Don't let them use your children as weapons, because they are going to be demised. Keep them at home. Please protect the community. Please protect yourself. Stay at home. Drink plenty of water. Take nice, cool showers. You gotta start helping yourself. No one is feeling sorry for you. No one. You have to start taking care of yourself and look forward and realize that you're being a tool for the enemy. Stop being the tool, because they're gonna come and get you in the end. Yeah. So I've been on here long enough that, okay, Nubian says some people that left to go to Africa were moving back to the U.S. Mostly in 2021. Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, I've heard slowly, Nubian, that people were leaving, moving back. I heard about it in 2022, actually. Some people were leaving. Yeah, they were. Oh gosh, it is what it is, people. Yeah, and if I leave here, if I leave New York, it has to be permanently, because I wouldn't be able to afford to come back here. Once I leave and give up my apartment, that's it. I am, because the whole politics changed. Because now I've been living here for 20 plus years. This apartment, this unit. Now I have to deal with the refugees, the illegals, what else? And the high rents. So it's a shortage. And I poo out of luck. Yeah, I couldn't afford the rent out there, the going rate. I couldn't afford it. And I heard about Belize. I looked into Belize. It says, yes, I would love to go to Belize. It's beautiful there too. Yeah, I heard it's nice, but there was some things about Belize. Yeah, because I was considering there. I investigated there. I searched on the internet. Yeah, there's certain type of tax. You could consider it a tax, and you have to pay $100 every month for this particular thing to be able to live there. That's outside of tax and all this other stuff. It's some stipulation, and it's taking money from we call expats. Yeah, I was surprised. I wish I could be more specific. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know the fee was $100 every month. Yeah, I heard about that, but I just say, whatever works for you. And anybody who's listened to this video, yeah, you have to look it up. Yeah, it was something that I heard. Yeah, because I checked out Belize early last year. I remember. I was curious about it, because I really wanted to find out what my options were, but it was something about, yeah, I watched a whole bunch of videos on Belize. Yeah, they speak English there. It is a, what do you call it? Not a colony, what's that thing? It's a part of Britain. I forget a Commonwealth. It's a Commonwealth of Britain. You know, yeah, and housing was a challenge. But yeah, look into it and tell me what you find about with Belize. Okay, Nubian says I have a friend who moved there in 2018. Oh, great. Nice. Ask her about the thing about the $100 every month. Yeah. Yeah, ask about that. Yeah. Yeah, find out about there. Yeah, I'm really concerned about New York City, and I can feel the microaggressions. I could feel it in the air, and I don't want to be a victim. And my desire, all of a sudden now, yeah, I've been staying indoors a lot. I mean, I went out yesterday, um, but I notice now it is now getting warmer, uh, but my desire, um, I don't want to be a hostage in my apartment either. I mean, I love my building, but I don't want to be a hostage. I want to be around people, and when I want to, if I have enough, then I just go home. So, yeah, so I appreciate you all listening. I know this has been a long video. I like doing them because it gives me an outlet to express myself and to find out what other people are thinking and doing. Yeah. How is crime perceived according to what you are? You know, yeah, perception is multi-layered, and but I pray that we all have a safe week, have a safe journey, and please pray for America, for all people, because I think we're all being used as a pawn for our own destruction. I love America. May America live and be strong, prosperous, and may its citizens and its guests be protected. Yeah. Oh, the cabinets. Yes, Yes. Uh, I after I spoke with you, I rearranged. Yes, I was going to do a video and show my desk. What do you call it? My countertops. They look fantastic now. Yeah, I put them in order so now I can actually prepare my meals on the counter. Yes, I put things in I rearranged things, and I am pleased for now. Yes, I am pleased. Yes, thank you for asking. And yes, I want order in my life, and yeah, I want protection for me and my dogs. And hey, in Nubia, I got a question that I don't know whether you were on when I was mentioning about this. Yeah, I have 3 little dogs that you know. And if things get push come to shove, if I have to evacuate from New York City, even temporarily, um, do you know, how do you get out of the city, with 3 little dogs, and I don't have a car. Uh, the 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 trains and the buses. We have what's called the Port Authority. They no dogs allowed, and service animals. You can't have more than 2 dogs. I have 3, and these are all my babies, and they all go with me. So yeah, if you can find out, I should call up maybe 311 to find out if I have to evacuate, where I can go. I might just call up a 311 now, find out what I can do. Yeah. So let me go. Let me go. I see. Wow, I've been on for a long time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to you all. Yeah. Yeah. Nubia say, yeah, she's all had her own transportation. Yeah, good. That's nice. Good for you, Nubian. Really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, I don't have a car. I live in the city, the heart of the city, and You don't have cars. You walk everywhere, or you take the train or the bus. And but if you have to really go distances, they don't accept pets on board, even if they're in a container. Yeah. So yeah, let me know. Okay, I got your message in an hour. Okay, girl. So again, thank you again, and peace, love, and joy, and safety to you all. No matter what your race, religion, color, we are one. We're all one people, and safety and prosperity to us all. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.